7th grade goes to the Echo Hill Outdoor School on the eastern shore of Maryland. It's located near Chestertown, Maryland. We've been going on this same trip for about 30 years. The staff down there are trained in their curriculum, and that includes teamwork, ecology, studying the Chesapeake Bay, and many other classes where students are outside learning about the environment, but also learning about themselves.
When he gets so fat inside of the shell, he opens up back here and he comes out and he looks just like this, but he's totally soft. He can't pinch you, you can poke your finger through him, you can eat the whole thing. Where would he want to go hide when he's like that?
Under the stuff. Seaweed.
What do we call seaweed?
Vegetarian.
Submerged aquatic vegetation.
Submerged aquatic vegetation. And then 12, 14.
I was really nervous because I got really homesick as a kid. I just wouldn't do sleepovers, or I would have to call my mom and she would have to pick me up, or call my dad. So I was extremely nervous, and so was my family. Like, they were more nervous than I was. But then when I finally got here, I just had so much fun that I forgot about everything, and I just had a ball at night. I was fine, I didn't get upset, I didn't get homesick, and this was really a big impact on me, because now I think I'm finally going to be able to step up to the challenge, and I'm going to be able to do sleepovers now, so.
This is one of my first times going camping for as long as I've spent away from my parents, and it's really fun. I always remember the experience.
There's a combination of academic classes down there and classes that are divided into two categories, an Adventure 1 and an Adventure 2 class. And so you may be out on the bay, on the Chesapeake Bay, learning about estuaries and brackish water.
Hey, who's this?
Sammy.
Sammy, make a fist for me, Sammy. That's about the size of the moon, 60 pounds here. What do you weigh on Sammy? 10 pounds. And when Sammy's here and the Earth is here, what happens? Water at sea level from here and here get pulled around, make a high tide here, low tide here, a low tide here, and a high tide here. And is the Earth stationary? No, we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. It takes 1 day to go around. So in the course of 1 day, the salt water comes in, you can set now. Salt water comes in for 6 hours, and it goes out, and it comes in, and it goes out. It's like a big mixing bowl, stirring around the salt and the fresh water. Without Sammy, we wouldn't have this brackish water or this ecosystem we call an estuary.
Thank you, Sammy.
How much students learn about themselves. So being in the outdoors is certainly outside of many students' comfort zones. So they really learn that they can do more than they think they could, or that they have interests that they may not have thought of before. The second is that they learn a lot about each other. So as we all know, when you see someone in a different situation, you might come to see them in a different light. You need to self-advocate. And even though we're really thinking about that in a classroom setting, being able to do work independently, being able to ask for help, being able to say what you need, Echo Hill gives them another experience where they're forced to really work independently, also self-advocate in a new situation, to say what's difficult for them, to ask for help from adults, and to communicate how things are going for them. So it's a great way to take the ideas of independence and self-advocacy out of the classroom and apply them in a new way, which I think makes students more able to apply them when they're back at school.
Long body. Gills.
Gills, because it's breathing underwater, right? We don't actually see the gills, but it's breathing underwater. So
A long tail thing, like the thing on the top of it. What is that called? Like the thing. It's like a really long fin at the top.
What?
It's like
a fin,
yeah.
right? Right, fin?
Fin!
So what's it sounding like?
Fin.
It is. It's just a weird looking fish, okay? It's got gills, it's got fins, it has scales, but all fish don't have scales, okay? The scales on this fish are microscopic. We can't feel them or see them.
Eating our meals down at Echo Hill, we oftentimes talk about the choices that we make in terms of what is left on our plate, and all the things that may have gone into that meal, whether it's the gasoline that took the trucks to bring the food to your plates, the people who work so hard to work in the fields, to milk the cows. And so when you look at that corn muffin left on your plate, it's just not that corn muffin, it's all the things that went into it.
I've just gotten to know everyone so well, so it's been really fun to learn about all the different kids in my grade.
Yeah, I mostly felt supported by the kids because they knew about me and they have the same problems too. So I think that we all came together and we all, stood for each other. And we're a big family.
Well, I just did the adventure course a little while ago, and it was really, hard. We had to do this thing where we had to lower this hula hoop, and it sounds really easy, but it was like impossible.
Start it even. We gotta start it even right there. Ready? This side's gonna lower. From Justin. No, we just raise. And then we'll just raise.
So we knew what we were trying to do, but we didn't really know how to do it. So we sort of just took it step by step, and we persevered, like Edward said, through I guess the hardships of it, and we really were working as a team at the end, and I think that's what finally got us to our end result.
At the aquaology, I think it's pronounced. I think I pronounced that correctly. So what we do is me and my friend Zach I didn't even know his name. I thought it was Ethan. So we kind of bonded really well because we were trying to get this frog, right? And it was stuck in a rock or something. I tried to fish it out, and he was there with a big net trying to catch it. Didn't work though. He kind of gave up on that. But we found it on the grass later and caught it. So I caught a friend.
I kissed a crab. Definitely not comfortable with that.
I, of course, go to all of the upper school end-of-year events and graduation ceremonies and baccalaureate, and I've never been to one where Echo Hill hasn't been mentioned. And I think to have so many experiences over middle school and high school, but for so many students to point to this as a formative experience is really, really special. And I think it speaks to the lasting memories and feelings that students have for many years beyond 7th grade.
It's really fun. The food's amazing. You're gonna have tons of fun with your tents and your tribes, and just look forward to nature.
And then later on the week, you oftentimes move to an Adventure 2 class, which involves a zip line or what's called a giant swing. And I think what those classes do is they allow our students to, it may be conquering the fear of heights. I think of how that really correlates to one's middle school journey. Looking up at a 40-foot tree and figuring out how to navigate that, I think a lot of times is how you might try to navigate middle school. One that is filled with times of anxiety or being unsure of yourself.
Now push up.
But then through the support of others, and you make it up, you have this feeling of accomplishment, and then you have this reward. And at the very end, you have your classmates and your teachers there kind of welcoming you and helping you off of that swing, and patting you on the back, and really being present with you in a certain way that I think makes just both the people congratulating you, but also that young person on their journey feel really special and nurtured.